If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. In a move that's stirring up quite a bit of buzz in Cleveland, the Browns have made a pair of notable roster decisions, releasing defensive end Ogbo Okoronkwo and re-signing kicker Andre Smith. Now, if you're a Browns fan, this might have come as a surprise. Okoronkwo was heading into the final year of his 3-year, $19 million deal. And while he wasn't exactly setting the league on fire last season, he was a reliable rotational piece on that defensive front. But Thursday marked the end of his journey with the team, and the franchise made it official with a quiet transaction, one that speaks volumes about the team's direction and priorities going into the season. For a guy who brought both production and veteran leadership, it's a bit of a bittersweet goodbye. Okoronkwo, 30 years old and still with some tread left on the tires, had a decent season in 2023. He suited up for all 16 games, starting in 5 of them, and racked up 23 tackles along with 3.0 sacks. Those aren't Pro Bowl numbers, but in the context of Cleveland's deep and aggressive defensive rotation, they're respectable. Ogbo was often tasked with setting the edge, applying pressure and passing downs, and being that utility guy that defensive coordinators love to plug in during crucial moments. His effort rarely went unnoticed, and his presence in the locker room was felt just as much as his presence on the field. But the NFL is a business, and this move reminds us of that cold, hard truth. What makes this cut even more interesting is that Ogbo's contract wasn't insignificant. He inked that 3-year, $19 million deal with the Browns back in 2023, which showed the team had big expectations for him at the time. He came in with momentum from his 2020 stint with the Houston Texans, where he flashed some real pass rushing ability. Before that, of course, he was with the Los Angeles Rams, the team that drafted him in the 5th round back in 2018. That's also where he earned himself a Super Bowl ring, contributing as a solid depth player on that fearsome Rams front, so the pedigree was there. He's been a part of winning cultures and has delivered in spurts. In total, Okoronkwo leaves Cleveland, having played 80 career games across his time with the Rams, Texans, and Browns. He's totaled 130 tackles and 17.0 sacks, numbers that speak to his consistency more than flashiness. He's not the guy who'll post 10 sacks in a season, but he's the kind of player who does the dirty work, setting the edge, fighting through double teams, and bringing relentless motor every snap. That kind of effort doesn't always show up in the stat sheet, but coaches and teammates take notice. His farewell to Cleveland came in the form of a brief but heartfelt message on social media. "Love to the land." A classy sign-off from a player who gave his all. And while Okoronkwo's chapter in Cleveland closes, another familiar face is making his return. That's right, kicker Andre Smith is back with the Browns after being waived earlier this month. For those who don't know much about Smith, he's a 26-year-old kicker who spent the spring with the UFL St. Louis Battlehawks, where he showed off a strong leg and reliable accuracy. He joined Cleveland's practice squad late last season, in December, and clearly left a good impression. Though he's not expected to be the starter, Dustin Hopkins still holds down that job. Smith's re-signing gives the Browns some much-needed depth at the position. Smith isn't a household name, at least not yet, but he's got an interesting journey. A standout at Syracuse during his college days, he's battled through ups and downs, refining his mechanics and proving his worth in smaller leagues like the UFL. And let's not forget, being a kicker in the NFL is no easy gig. It's high pressure, often thankless, and opportunities are limited. For Smith, getting back with an NFL team even as a backup is a big step. Cleveland clearly sees something in him worth developing. Maybe it's the consistency he's shown from long range, or maybe it's his work ethic behind the scenes. Either way, this could be the start of something. And make no mistake, having a solid backup kicker is more important than people realize. Just as teams that have suffered through mid-season kicking disasters, Dustin Hopkins has been steady for the Browns, but the position is always one bad injury or cold streak away from chaos. Schmidt's presence ensures the Browns have insurance, a ready leg with live game experience from the UFL who knows the team's system and coaching staff. He may not see the field right away, but if the opportunity comes, don't be surprised if he steps in and makes the most of it. That kind of readiness is what earns guys longer careers in this league. So what do these moves say about where the Browns are headed? It's a bit of a retooling phase. Letting go of a veteran like Okoronkwo, especially one under contract, signals a shift toward youth, flexibility, and maybe even some cap space maneuvering. Cleveland's front office has made it clear they want to build a sustainable contender. And that means making tough calls, sometimes. That includes saying goodbye to solid players in order to open up snaps for younger talent or to reallocate money to other positions. It's a gamble, sure, but it's also part of the long-term plan. Fans might feel torn. On one hand, Okoronkwo didn't exactly dominate in his time with the Browns. On the other, he was a known quantity, dependable, professional, and battle-tested. There's always risk in letting go of a veteran presence like that, but that's the NFL. Rosters are constantly evolving, and every offseason brings a fresh wave of change. For Okoronkwo, it's likely not the end. With his experience and resume, another team in need of a pass rusher will likely give him a call sooner rather than later. And for Smith, this is a second chance to carve out a spot in a league that offers few of them. So there you have it. One door closes, another opens. The Browns say farewell to a gritty defensive end and welcome back a determined kicker. These aren't blockbuster moves, but they matter. They shape the depth, identity, and chemistry of a team trying to break through in a competitive AFC. Whether these decisions will pay off remains to be seen, but they definitely set the tone for a front office that isn't afraid to make bold calls. Browns fans, keep your eyes peeled, because if these moves are any indication, the team is just getting started with its summer shake. Up. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Something big is brewing in Cleveland, and the whole NFL world is buzzing about it. Picture this: the Cleveland Browns, long seen as underdogs and pretenders, may have just pulled off the kind of move that shakes the entire AFC. Rumors are swirling that veteran wide receiver Keenan Allen, one of the most dependable and polished route runners of the last decade, has agreed to terms with the Browns. While there hasn't been an official announcement yet, the whispers coming out of Bria, combined with a few cryptic posts on social media from players and insiders, have fans believing this is real. And if it is, let's be clear, this could be the signing that finally pushes Cleveland over the hump. Keenan Allen in a Browns jersey isn't just a big name, it's a signal. A signal that Cleveland is tired of being overlooked and is ready to win. Now, let's be honest, Keenan Allen is not just any wide receiver. We're talking about a guy with 6 1,000-yard seasons, 5 Pro Bowl selections, and a reputation for precise route running and big moment reliability. After spending over a decade with the Chargers, where he became one of the most consistent threats in the league, Allen might be looking for a fresh start, and Cleveland could be the perfect fit. For years, the Browns have been searching for that go-to guy in crunch time, someone who can make the tough catches over the middle and move the chains on 3rd and long. If this move is real, and if Allen still has gas left in the tank, the Browns may have just solved one of their most pressing offensive issues. It's not just about adding talent, it's about adding the right kind of talent. And Allen, he's that guy. But this potential signing doesn't just impact the Browns' offense. It reverberates throughout the entire AFC. The conference is loaded with powerhouse teams: the Chiefs with Mahomes, the Bills with Allen, the Bengals with Burrow, and now the Texans with C.J. Stroud emerging. The Browns have always had the defense to compete. Just ask any quarterback who's faced Myles Garrett and that pass rush. But the missing piece has always been consistency on offense, particularly in the passing game. Deshaun Watson, when healthy and focused, has MVP-level talent. Pairing him with Keenan Allen, that changes the equation. It forces defenses to respect the Browns in a way they haven't had to before. Suddenly, that AFC gauntlet looks a lot more winnable for Cleveland. Suddenly, they're not just in the mix, they might be at the front of the pack. Let's also not ignore the psychological impact this kind of move has on the locker room. Bringing in a proven veteran like Keenan Allen sends a message not just to the rest of the league, but to the players inside that building. It says the front office believes the time to win is now. It tells Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, and the rest of that core group that management is going all in. And sometimes that belief is just as powerful as any stat line. Remember, when the Rams traded for Von Miller and signed Odell Beckham Jr., people questioned it at the time, but it sparked something. The Rams went on to win the Super Bowl. Moves like these are about momentum, chemistry, and timing. And right now, if this Allen signing is real, the Browns might be catching lightning in a bottle. Of course, nothing is confirmed yet. This is still in rumor territory, but let's look at the signs. A well-known Browns insider tweeted a cryptic message about a veteran are heading to the land. Allen posted a photo of a brown and orange watch with the caption "New time, new goals." And just last night, Deshaun Watson liked a post speculating about the two linking up in Cleveland. These things don't happen by accident in today's NFL. Social media is often the first clue, the first crack in the dam before the flood of official announcements. And while we wait for Schefter or Rappaport to make it official, the momentum is building, fans are excited, and opposing teams are starting to worry. This isn't just off-season noise, this feels like the real deal now. Let's think about what Allen actually brings to the Browns scheme. Kevin Stefanski loves smart, precise route runners who can operate in tight windows and make tough catches in traffic. That's Allen to AT. He may not have elite top-end speed anymore, but what he lacks in explosiveness he more than makes up for in savvy and technique. He's the kind of player who can help a quarterback get into rhythm early and often, especially in games where defenses bring pressure and timing is everything. Imagine a 3rd and 6, crucial drive in the 4th quarter. Allen is the guy you trust to get open, move the sticks, and keep the drive alive. That's invaluable in playoff-type football, and in Cleveland, those kinds of games are becoming the expectation, not the exception. Defenses across the AFC better take notice, because if the Browns are really landing Keenan Allen, it's not just another weapon, it's a statement. Think about this receiving corps: Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, David Njoku, and now Keenan Allen. That's depth, versatility, and veteran leadership all in one group. You've got deep threats, possession guys, red zone targets. Defenses can't double everyone. Someone's always going to be open, and with a quarterback like Watson who can extend plays and hit receivers on the run, that's a nightmare scenario for any defensive coordinator. The Browns are building something that looks a lot like a complete offense, and when you pair that with an already elite defense, the sky might truly be the limit. Another layer to this potential signing is Allen's leadership in Los Angeles. He was the guy younger players looked to, the steady hand, the calming voice in the locker room. For a Browns team that has sometimes struggled with consistency and discipline in big moments, that kind of presence is crucial. We've seen flashes of greatness from Cleveland in recent seasons, but sustaining it has been the challenge. Allen's professionalism, his preparation, and his playoff experience could help steady the ship when the stakes get high. It's not just about what he does on Sundays, it's about what he brings Monday through Saturday. That's the kind of thing that doesn't show up in box scores, but it wins games when it matters most. There's also the financial question. Allen's cap hit was the reason the Chargers reportedly parted ways, and Cleveland isn't exactly swimming in space. But if the Browns front office managed to structure this deal smartly, front-loading bonuses, tying incentives to playoff performance, it could end up being one of the best value signings of the offseason. And let's not forget, players want to win. If Allen truly believes the Browns are ready to contend, he may be willing to take a slight pay cut for a legitimate shot at a ring. That speaks volumes about the current state of this franchise. A few years ago, Cleveland was a place players went to fade into obscurity. Now, it might be a destination for those who want to win. At the end of the day, this could be the move that changes everything if Keenan Allen does sign with the Browns. The AFC playoff picture shifts overnight. This isn't just hype, it's the kind of roster shift that forces Vegas to adjust its odds, analysts to update their power rankings, and fans to start dreaming big. The Browns were already a tough out, a team no one wanted to face late in the year. Add Keenan Allen to that equation, and they might just become the team to beat. The rumor mill is spinning, and if this turns out to be true, buckle up because the Dawg Pound is about to get a whole lot louder. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!